What a beautiful 10% plus squeeze on a Palladium market yesterday, just based on the conversation on Russia import bans. Incredible. Those asset classes of multi-billion dollars are moving 2-digit percentage points per day, and we are allocated. When crypto doesn't give us a very volatile moves, we don't care. We are exploring any asset class possible to make life-changing gains. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Russ. Today is Friday, so in our macro update, we're gonna go and cover metals and a tiny bit of the new setups. I'm eyeing here few of amazing setups like Palladium are about to emerge. But before we start and go into them, I'd like to give you a quick overview of what actually happened in the charts yesterday. As you can see here, over a course of a day, we had more than 10% candle. And this is, in my opinion, just the beginning. If you guys have been with me, if you've been in our Telegram Trade Alert group, just 2 weeks ago, exactly on the 8th of October, you can see the date we entered Palladium with a stop loss of 974. And I also mentioned that the miners PLG, for example, their strengths with the V Palladium in the coming week was outstanding. And what I mean by outstanding is that here we have an amazing opportunity for that trade. And this is just the beginning, guys. When I said amazing opportunity is because our risk to reward on this long position is, let's remeasure it once again, depending of course of how this trade would manifest, but as I said, more than 10-1. This is an incredible trade opportunity, and I think we actually got the bottom here on that formation. This is one of the reversal formations that I like to see when we are not able to print the lower low, and then everyone understands that was actually the demand, and then we start to accelerate quite quickly. So right now, what I am suggesting, if you miss this move, first of all, look at the weekly and don't worry, because we are just starting, guys. When I see those kind of setups, and those setups are not in illiquid coins where majority of supply has not been distributed, and where you have the VCs have been in the project, you know, for 100x below. This is actually an asset class. This is a very important commodity that is used in multiple places, from aerospace to photovoltaics to photography to car manufacturing and so on and so forth. So this is actually the metal with an industrial use. I'm not going to cover all 15 use cases of Palladium. If you want, go and Google it yourself, but this is like silver that has a huge industrial use. This is not just a store of value. This is not something similar to gold. Of course, gold has also industrial use, but way less than the PGMs, you know, platinum group metals. So as I said, 1120, this yellow line in the chart, was our previous high through which we've broken very confidently. So just once again, this 10-1 trade is a humble trade, because Palladium from here can also accelerate all the way to where it was just a year ago, guys. I'm talking about 2023. I'm not even opening the charts, you know, on the previous dates, all right? But bringing us to 2300 from here is still 100 plus trade. And as you remember, if you've been watching my streams from the past, you understand that the miners are moving much more confidently with those types of moves. So for those who've been with me, you know that we are allocated into Sibanye Stillwater, one of the Palladium miners, and here we had a beautiful point of 3 that you see on the charts, accumulation, manipulation. Now we're gonna have our distribution. So I am fully allocated. I have a large position for reference, and the same with PLG. And PLG was one of the reasons why I actually start seeing, this is weekly by the way, right? If you're gonna go on a daily, the chart starts to look even more impressive. But I was telling you guys, I noticed that strength here when Palladium had a drop and miners did not. I started to understand that it's more likely that we're gonna squeeze the heavily shorted with the paper derivative metal market up. We're gonna short, we're gonna squeeze those shorts. For those who doesn't understand how exactly the short squeeze work, please come and see my previous video on Wednesday. I explain in details how heavily the banks are sitting in 7 times unrealized profits and losses. In this case, there are actually losses 7 times higher than in 2008, and that's very probable that at certain point they would not be able to stomach those losses, and that means they're gonna close their shorts, and that means that the longs gonna pile in additional longs brought by them. So that can be an amazing turbo setup from here, where it's gonna propel our Palladium miner prices even higher. Once again, don't forget to zoom out. Always look on the weekly chart. Even if on a daily it looks like, oh, you know, we are getting overbought. Don't forget, overbought in the bull market can stay for weeks. And once again, as soon as we confidently closing here above $2, then the sky's the limit, and we're gonna come and grab those liquidity zones from here. And this is another at least 150% from now. So don't be shy of those gains, because I understand you make 10%, you make 20%, and that's great. And it's great because you're feeling like, damn, I actually made more in a course of 2 weeks, 3 weeks than, you know, the entire indices have done. So for sure, it's normal to take some profits and to add on the retraces, because nothing goes in a straight line. But don't get shaken out fully of your position. At least try to keep a quarter as a runner, you know, because we are not yet done with metals, guys. Everyone who is shorting silver here is not smart. And I'm telling you why. Why? Because this is a normal behavior where on this explosive move up, we start accumulating more shorts, because people do not have patience and they don't understand how markets work, and just simply based on oscillators they go into RSI and they start to say, oh, RSI is an overbought territory, it means that's the top, and they start shorting here. And of course, market maker is gonna land them short. They're gonna lure those shorts in. How far? Maybe all the way towards 30.5, but once those shorts are fully into the position, we're gonna come and wash them out. So every dip here is a gift. Every dip here is for buying. And while I'm saying that, I'm also looking on relative chart, relative junior miner versus silver chart. And you can see here, finally, we've been waiting, guys, for that move since I joined DataDash family. I was telling you about those moves since the months of May. Then we had another attempt in July, another attempt in August, another attempt in September. You see how many times we were trying to break from those relative accumulation chart, and finally we are doing it. This is unfolding in front of your eyes. So congratulations for everyone who is into that trade together with me. I know that crypto market is not providing us a lot of fun here right now. Of course, we've been scalping. We are scalping back and forth, but if you look from the grand scheme of things, you know, it's not as fun. We are still, for most of the altcoins, we're still in the same range we've been for months and months and months. And despite all of that, I wanted to also tell you that I see that finally, after we have swiped all these lows on Ethereum, I'm looking here on that chart in the bottom right corner. Let's make it bigger so you can see what I'm talking about. This Ethereum chart is starting to print multiple divergences, and obviously, you know, for those who've been watching me, the most important one for me is RSI, but much more important, before RSI, I explained it a week ago, is the money flow index. Money flow index is the best indicator. MFI, please Google it if you don't understand how it works. I'm not gonna have time explaining exactly how money flow index is calculated. Just Google that and see there's a lot of articles in Investopedia and so on. So money flow index is, for me, the best opportunity to find out the reversal, which is right now what Ethereum is experiencing. So I consider this is a lower low, but very divergent lower low. So you see what happened on the previous low divergent, bullish divergent lower low. We had a move of around 11% just in a matter of 4 days. So I would expect that, you know, from the low here, we can have another even 8% move. So that can be a nice trade from here. Looking at Ethereum here on the daily, you also see this very nice hammer candle here unfolding. And let's maybe have a quick look on the flow. And unfortunately, just yet, I do not see the buy confirmation signal. I see that spot has been selling, and this just little bounce has been driven up by longs piling at the bottom. Fine, but I also see the lack of spot buying and increasing open interest. So I would consider those not being directly a continuation, but I consider a first reversal, tiny bit of reversal down when we're gonna flash all those late longers, and only then we're gonna go up. Because if this move up is gonna be confirmed, then for sure we don't need all that apes, all that passengers that long the overextended market, even of a short-term time frames. And why I'm saying that? Because my logic, my reasoning is actually coinciding with where Bitcoin is right now and what it's gonna do. And just to give you my view, what we're gonna do from now, I am still bullish. I am considering that Bitcoin is gonna move still up from here and target this yellow line of mine of 70,800 at least, and maybe even take the previous high of 72, 73,000. Of course, it all depends. It all depends on the macro environment, but I think we can have that kind of position. We already re-entered long, and we've been doing it, of course, in a Discord group much more often. But I understand, even though I'm doing all the job for free, so I really, guys, recommend you to subscribe for now, because I don't think I can sustain giving that degree of granularity and updates forever for free. So I think for now, since the group doesn't cost you anything as soon as you are the newsletter subscriber, I recommend you joining, just to give an idea for those who's not in the group what we've doing in the past. Just to give an idea that for all the people who missed longing from 60K, and we went long at 60K also, for those who wants to double check it, let me quickly showcase our last longs. We went long on the 14th of October at 65. For those who missed the initial long, we also went long at 62 because I felt that that's important. So once again, we do all this continuation longs for those who've been not in the position or who missed the trade, because I understand not everyone can stay on top of the charts like I do 24/7 pretty much. So yeah, this is another continuation long we had, which is from 65,000, and we are riding it. And right now, for those who've missed that 65 long, we are entering another long here at 67.2, and looking at the chart right now, as I said, targeting 70.8 at least, right? So coming back from our Telegram group into the charts, that's how I would synchronize my Ethereum long with this Bitcoin long. It's not so far from here. It's just, let's say, $800, $600. So don't be too greedy. Don't expect to catch Ethereum at 1800 or 2000. But looking at an Ethereum chart from here, what I would do very often those weeks, you know, for so to say, less sophisticated traders who trade the patterns, like, you know, people watching Carl Moon, people watching Crypto, all those guys, they are not advanced. They are, let's say, another type of traders, but they are unfortunately quite vulnerable, you know, to those patterns. So for market maker, it doesn't make a lot of effort to just clean out all that guys who actually went long on top of the hammer candle, putting their stop loss here. So what I would do, and I am again giving you this advice, not the first time, I know, but some people missed it in the past. First of all, you register on Bybit. Why Bybit? Because it's the best user experience, user interface, and because that's the best integration. That's the best integration with Teal Street. So you go afterwards to Teal Street and you create multiple orders. So you are not so vulnerable when it comes to the position. You do something that I'm doing here, for example, with CRV. I am placing a lot of limit longs here that would coincide with this tiny $600, $700 Bitcoin correction and my thesis. And this is, for me, kind of catching a good quality project at the very low of its chart, alongside with something that we are doing with Platinum. That's something that we've done with Silver. You know how I like spotting the reversal, catching the bottoms. But for sure here, I'd like first to, you know, liquidate all these hammers, all these weeks, all these less sophisticated traders who've been long all the time, keeping all their stop losses below. So first I want, their forced liquidations are going to be my entries. So that's why I'd like to, you know, scale into the position here and exit. So for everyone asking me, damn, how do I register in Bybit if I'm American, etc. Guys, there are many workarounds. You can register your digital residency in Palau. You can also open a company anywhere you want and open a corporate account. It costs less than $1,000 to open Estonian company, and you don't even need to travel to Estonia. And so please be a little bit more creative. Like, I'm feeling personally sad where people are telling me, like, just because of my jurisdiction, I'm like trying to register. Yeah, it makes sense, of course. If you want to trade $50, $500, that's the maximum you can do. It probably doesn't make sense to invest $250 in opening the residency. But as soon as you're trading a couple $1,000s, I think that's already you're gonna recap those quite quickly. And so that's an example with CRV, but I just gave you an example with Ethereum, doing pretty much the same. You're just typing here ETH. Of course, you are opening the perpetual contract, either USDT or USDC. That's actually another great thing about Bybit. And moreover, what's a third great thing about Bybit? That you can actually open your trade into the inverse future contract, which is denominated in Ethereum. It means you already know Ethereum at some point going to be $5,000 per one Ethereum, and you just want to maximize the number of your Ethereums. You don't even want to maximize you don't care of USDT anymore. Those currencies are being debased. So you just buy Ethereum at this price. You don't care if it's 2,400 or 2,450. In the grand scheme of things, it's not so important. And then you long, and you generate more Ethereum on top of your Ethereum. So that's another great thing that you can do. But for simplicity's sake, because most of the people are comfortable here simply with the normal contract, perpetual contract, dollar contract. So you basically see, right? I'm here, for example, in this position. I'm in a slightly negative here because I'm just starting to get filled. You see, I have many more orders in the bottom. I just created them. My position is 44.5 Ethereum, and so my stop loss, I would say maybe 2,900 is a little bit too optimistic here, but I can always move it just with my mouse. It's quite quick to 2,800 or something like that. So yeah, just from that trade, probably gonna profit around 25,000, and I'm expecting that actually to happen in the coming 7 days. So that's not so bad. All right. Coming back, I promised you that I'm gonna give you one more setup. So for those who watched until now, please give it a like, please give it a comment. I appreciate, guys, your effort, and please also understand how much work I'm putting into those to find all those setups continuously on a daily basis. And right now we're gonna go into the chart and look into the copper miner trade here. Copper is an extremely important industrial metal, and if you look here in a copper future chart, you can see this suppressed momentum, and then we had this high volume breakout. So I didn't announce this trade in the group, but I went long. I missed the first day, so I went long around here. Again, trading futures is a little bit more complicated just simply because of the basket size. It's not for everyone. Most of the people would be better off trading mini futures or micro futures. So that's why I don't announce those trades in the groups, because sometimes it's just a couple of basis points. You're fluctuating by dozens of thousands of dollars. So you have to be quite an experienced trader to deal with that. And for this reason, I'm actually advising you to enter the copper miner ETF trade. And here, if you're gonna look here, the ticker is COPX. It's a ETF that combines the basket of copper miners, so you're not so much exposed to the risk of a particular mismanagement or a poor business decision of a particular copper producer, but you are actually expecting the entire asset class to perform well. And simply looking from the technical perspective, copper miner ETF chart was quite similarly acting alongside the copper itself. And right now, of course, we created a couple of these gaps, so we are all the way here, so we fill this gap. That makes me feel good. There are no more gaps significant on the way down. Of course, there is like a tiny bit gap of here, but I don't think in a grand scheme of things we're gonna come and revisit those. Why I'm seeing that, so you can also learn and see from my reasoning. Well, because looking at RSI chart here, I see that we almost found the bottom and RSI and also an OBV. OBV is quite an important chart. I explained it in a couple of my videos in the past. It basically has the volume accumulated with a particular direction, if it's an up move or a down move, and I think that the selling is pretty much off. The sellers are exhausted at this point. So coming back to the bigger chart, I would say that my accumulation zone in copper miner ETF will be everywhere between 44 and where we are right now, let's say 44.5. And I'll place my stop loss below this previous week at around 43. And I'm happy to ride. Once again, those commodity trades are providing us extremely lucrative risk rewards right now. I'm happy to ride it to the previous high from where we started our correction in the month of June. All right, guys, I think I gave you a lot of great setups for now. I wish you a lot of love and success in everything you do trading-wise. Please take care of your beloved ones, touch some grass. Don't need to trade 7 days a week. It's okay to trade 5. I wish you a great week, and we see each other soon. Bye.